My dear friends, my brothers and sisters, you're sitting with a group of friends, and in a moment of vulnerability, you open up about a struggle you're facing. Maybe it's a fear, a failure, or something that makes you feel weak. My name is Muniba Mazari, and I am a motivational speaker. If you are new at my channel, subscribe and start a new journey with me. At first, it feels good to let it out. There's relief in sharing. But then, over time, you start noticing the shift. Those words you spoke in trust start echoing back to you in ways you never expected. A harmless joke, a passing comment, a look that feels a little too knowing. It hurts, right? It feels like your own story has turned against you. This is why protecting your vulnerability is so important. Not everyone deserves to know the battles you're fighting. Not everyone has the right to hold pieces of your story, especially the fragile ones. In life, we meet all kinds of people, some with open hearts and some with sharp tongues. While many are genuine, some see vulnerability as an opportunity, a way to gain leverage or to quietly feel better about their own insecurities. We often think that being open is a sign of strength. And yes, openness can be beautiful when shared with the right people. But indiscriminate openness? It's like leaving the door to your home wide open. While some may enter with kindness, others might walk in with muddy shoes, leaving behind a mess. Your heart, your mind, these are sacred spaces. Not everyone who knocks deserves to be let in. Protecting your vulnerability doesn't mean shutting everyone out. It means choosing wisely. It's about knowing that your emotions, your struggles, your fears, they're not for public consumption. They're not meant to be used as ammunition in someone else's conversation or as entertainment in someone else's story. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone's private pain turned into gossip? How often have you heard a sensitive story shared with a casualness that strips away its significance? When you share your weakness with the wrong person, you risk not only the betrayal of trust, but also the distortion of your own narrative. Suddenly, your truth is no longer your own. It's colored by the opinions, misunderstandings, and biases of others. When you protect your vulnerability, you maintain control over your own story. You decide when and how to share, and most importantly, with whom. You're not giving anyone the power to twist your words or to make your experiences smaller than they are. You hold the pen and you write the chapters of your life with intention. It's not about living with walls up. It's about building gates with strong locks. It's about understanding that not everyone who listens cares, and not everyone who asks genuinely wants to help. Some are simply collecting stories, filing away details, and waiting for the right moment to bring them up, sometimes with good intentions, but sometimes not. There's a quiet power in keeping certain things to yourself. When you choose to handle your struggles privately, you give yourself room to grow without the pressure of outside eyes. You allow healing to happen without judgment, without comparison. You give yourself the gift of time to process, to learn, to find strength before presenting your story to the world, if you choose to do so at all. And if you must share, choose wisely. Seek out those who have earned the right to hear your story. Look for the ones who hold your words with care, who offer empathy instead of advice, who listen without the need to respond. Share with those who make your world feel a little bit safer. Protecting your vulnerability is not about living in fear of being hurt. It's about honoring yourself enough to know that your struggles are valuable, that your story is precious, and that your heart deserves to be treated with respect. When you master this, you don't just guard your weakness, you transform it into quiet strength. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a house. Every thought, every emotion, every secret is a room within that house. Now picture someone walking into this house, opening doors, peeking into corners, and judging what they see. Not everyone who enters will admire the beauty of your home. Some will only focus on the cracks in the walls, the dust in the corners, and the things you wish you could hide. This is what happens when you share your weaknesses with the wrong people. You invite them into your most private spaces, but not everyone will handle that invitation with care. It's a tough reality to accept, but not everyone around you is rooting for you. Some people are only curious, not compassionate. They want to know your story not to support you, but to satisfy their own need for gossip or comparison. When you reveal your struggles to such people, You risk your pain becoming part of someone else's casual conversation. Your heartfelt confessions could end up as nothing more than entertainment over coffee or fodder for judgment behind closed doors. We all have moments of weakness. We all face struggles that bring us to our knees. It's natural to want to share, to lighten the load by speaking your truth. But before you do, ask yourself, is this person truly here for me? Will they handle my vulnerability with the respect it deserves? Or will they take my truth and twist it into something unrecognizable? Protecting your weaknesses from the wrong people is not about building walls. It's about setting healthy boundaries. It's about understanding that not everyone who asks, "Are you okay?" genuinely wants to know. Some are just gathering information, and some may even use it against you. When you share your struggles with the wrong person, you might find your own words coming back to you in ways you never intended, in a rumor, a judgment, or a backhanded comment. Think of it like lending someone a fragile piece of glass. If they drop it, it shatters, and no matter how hard you try, you can't put it back together the same way. Your weaknesses, your insecurities, they're that fragile glass. When you share them, you're trusting someone to hold them carefully. The wrong person might drop them, leaving you to pick up the pieces. Have you ever shared a secret only to hear it come back to you from someone else's mouth? That sting of betrayal, that sharp realization that your private struggle is now public knowledge, it's a pain that lingers. It makes you question your own judgment, and worse, it makes you hesitate to open up to those who might actually help. But here's the truth. You have the right to be selective with your story. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You're not obligated to share your wounds with those who haven't proven themselves worthy. There's strength in silence. There's wisdom in choosing your confidants carefully. When you guard your weaknesses from the wrong people, you keep your power. You maintain control over your own narrative. Instead of allowing others to shape your story, you write it yourself, page by page, with the care and intention it deserves. And when you do share with those who have shown you not just through words, but through actions that they are safe. These are the people who celebrate your victories and hold your hand through your losses. They're the ones who don't need to know every detail to understand the depth of your pain. They listen not to respond, but to support. By keeping your weaknesses protected from the wrong people, you're not being guarded, you're being wise. You're respecting your own journey, valuing your own healing, and choosing to give your truth only to those who deserve it. This is not just a way to avoid hurt. It is a path to true strength. It's how you transform your weakness into a quiet, resilient power that no one can take away from you. Have you ever noticed how, in the toughest moments of your life, the world around you seems to amplify every emotion? When you're feeling weak, it's as if every comment, every look, every whisper is directed at you. It's natural to seek comfort, to reach out, to tell someone how much it hurts. But before you do, pause. Not everyone who listens is there to help. Some are simply there to watch. When you share your weaknesses openly, you're, in a way, giving people a map to your vulnerabilities. You're showing them where it hurts and how deeply. While genuine, caring people will treat this with compassion, not everyone will. There are those who might take your honesty and use it against you. They might exploit your vulnerability, turning your weakness into a weapon. It's not paranoia, it's reality. The world is not always kind, and people are not always sincere. Imagine you're standing in a storm, drenched and cold, and you let someone into your shelter, hoping they'll share warmth. Instead, they open the windows wider, letting the rain pour in. That's what it feels like when you trust the wrong person with your struggles. They not only fail to protect you, but may even worsen your situation. You might find your words twisted, your intentions questioned, and your character misjudged, all because you allowed someone undeserving into your vulnerable space. It's important to understand that your weakness is not a flaw. It's a part of being human. We all have moments when life feels heavy, but how you handle those moments can make all the difference. Instead of sharing your struggles with anyone who will listen, channel that energy inward, reflect, write, pray, meditate. Find ways to process your feelings that don't rely on external validation. You'll find strength in becoming your own confidant, in learning to comfort yourself first. When you do choose to share, Do so with intention. Select the right people, the ones who have stood by you through thick and thin, who have proven their loyalty not with words but with actions. These are the people who, when you share your struggles, won't look at you with pity but with understanding. They won't broadcast your pain to the world. Instead, they'll help you carry it, making the load a little lighter. Sometimes the best response to hardship is silence, not because you're afraid to speak, but because silence can be a source of strength. It allows you to observe, to process, and to heal without external noise. It protects you from those who might misunderstand your pain or misuse your truth. When you choose not to share your weakness widely, you're not being secretive, you're being selective. You're valuing yourself enough to guard your heart. There's also a powerful freedom in not giving others the tools to hurt you. When people don't know where your weaknesses lie, they can't exploit them. They can't pull you down with casual remarks or cut you with sharp words. You remain in control, unshaken by the opinions or actions of those around you. Remember, not everyone who appears to listen is listening with love. Some listen with curiosity, some with judgment, and some with the intent to use your words for their own gain. When you're mindful of whom you share your struggles with, you're not only protecting yourself from immediate harm, but also building a foundation of resilience. You become someone who is not easily broken, whose inner world remains intact no matter how chaotic the outside world becomes. Your journey is sacred. Your struggles are part of that journey, shaping you into a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Share them with those who understand their value and will honor them with respect. For everyone else, let your strength speak through your actions, through the quiet perseverance that doesn't need validation or acknowledgement. That kind of strength, the kind that doesn't broadcast its struggles, is unshakable. It's the kind of strength that not only survives the storm, but walks out of it with grace. There's a certain kind of strength that comes from keeping your struggles to yourself. It's not about bottling up your emotions or pretending everything is fine when it isn't. Instead, it's about choosing your battles wisely and understanding that not every part of your journey needs an audience. Sometimes the most powerful growth happens in silence, behind closed doors, where your weaknesses transform into strengths without the scrutiny of the world. When you share your struggles with everyone, you open yourself up to judgment, opinions, and sometimes unwanted advice. People will always have something to say, whether it's helpful or not. They may not fully understand what you're going through, yet they'll project their own fears, insecurities, and experiences onto your situation. Instead of finding clarity, you might find yourself tangled in a web of confusion, doubting your own feelings because of what others have said. Imagine you're trying to heal from a wound, but every time it starts to close, someone comes along and pokes at it, reopening the pain. This is what it feels like when you overshare your struggles. Every comment, every unsolicited opinion can set back your healing process. You might start to question your worth, your decisions, and even your reality. You become more focused on how others perceive your pain rather than focusing on what you need to do to heal. On the other hand, when you keep your struggles to yourself, you give yourself the space to process your emotions naturally. You learn to sit with your feelings, to understand them, and to grow through them. It's a chance to become your own best friend, to offer yourself the kindness and compassion you might seek from others. It's in this solitude that you build resilience, not by avoiding the pain, but by learning to navigate it on your own terms. Keeping your struggles private also protects your peace. When fewer people know what you're going through, there are fewer chances for misunderstandings, gossip, or drama. You create a safe space within yourself, a place where you can retreat to find solace. You become the guardian of your own heart, choosing carefully who you allow into that space. This kind of boundary is not about shutting people out, but about preserving your energy and protecting your healing process. People often mistake silence for weakness, but it's quite the opposite. It takes a lot of strength to endure your struggles without constantly seeking validation from others. It's easy to vent, to let everything out in the hopes of feeling better. But true courage lies in facing your pain head-on in private. It's about learning to comfort yourself, to find strength within rather than relying on external sources of support. There's also a powerful sense of control that comes with keeping your struggles to yourself. When no one knows what you're going through, no one can use it against you. You remain unpredictable, unshaken by outside forces. Your strength becomes your secret weapon, a quiet, steady force that guides you through the darkest times. You hold the power over your story, deciding when and how it will be told, if at all. This doesn't mean you should never share your struggles. It's important to have a trusted circle, even if it's just one person with whom you can be vulnerable. But choose those people wisely. Let them be the ones who have proven their loyalty through actions, not just words. Share with those who listen not to respond, but to understand, with those who offer support without conditions or judgments. When you emerge from your struggles stronger and wiser, people may wonder how you did it. They might see the glow of your strength, but not the shadows of your struggle, and that's okay. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Your journey, with all its challenges and triumphs, belongs to you. In the end, by keeping your struggles to yourself, you're not hiding from the world, you're nurturing yourself. You're giving yourself the time and space needed to heal, to grow, and to become the best version of yourself. And when the time is right, when you're ready, you can share your story from a place of strength, inspiring others not because of what you went through, but because of how gracefully you overcame it. Not everyone around you has good intentions. This is a truth we often overlook in our eagerness to connect with others, to share our stories, and to find solace in companionship. While there are genuine, kind-hearted people who will celebrate your successes and support you through hardships, there are also those who might take advantage of your vulnerability. It's not always easy to tell the difference, but it's crucial for your well-being to recognize this and act accordingly. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe, my dear.